When most people think of a landfill, they just think that a hole got dug in the ground and then trash was placed into it, mixed in with the dirt. But in reality, it's a highly engineered system designed to isolate the trash from the earth, from the groundwater. The landfill is designed to protect the environment. My name is Ryan Schmidt. I'm a civil engineer here for the Western Placer Waste Management Authority. As an engineer here, we have a variety of jobs, one being the actual design and oversight of the construction of landfill modules, but also the filling of the landfill modules, as well as reviewing any other infrastructure projects related to the site. The landfill that is currently on site is called the Western Regional Sanitary Landfill. This landfill is currently the only active landfill in Placer County and was developed in 1978 when the member agencies got together to form the Western Placer Waste Management Authority to consolidate the active landfills in the area and provide a real planning towards the future of waste management in Placer County. Currently, we're standing above the Module 6 construction project. The landfill is developed in cells or modules that are about 20 acres in size, and each one lasts approximately 10 years. The construction process of a landfill module happens in 3 phases. The first phase is the excavation of the module. That takes place in the first year and takes approximately 3 months to complete. The second phase is the lining of the module, which you see behind me. That happens in the second year and takes approximately 6 months to complete. The final phase is the actual filling of the module with waste. For a landfill design, there are approximately 10 different material types layered on top of one another to isolate the waste from the earth below. These layers are separated into 4 categories. From top to bottom, the top layer is the operations layer. This is where the actual waste is placed. The second layer is the drainage layer, where gravel and geotextiles allow the flow of water to the sump area of the cell. The third layer is the primary containment layer. This is one isolation barrier to keep everything above from entering the ground below, and then below that is a secondary layer. Just in case any defects ever occurred in the primary layer, we have that backup of the secondary layer to keep that waste isolated above the liner. The liner layer construction process is extremely precise. At all times, we have 2 construction quality assurance representatives on site monitoring the construction for any defects, tears, rips, holes in the liner, and the welds between each liner piece. They'll catch holes as small as a penny or as large as your hand. These holes will then be marked and repaired during construction, and then verifications will be sent to a third-party lab to test those repairs to ensure that they're sound. Once liner construction is completed, we fill the waste module from the lowest point up. This makes sure that there's the least amount of water runoff from the actual waste on the ground. Once we build the waste up to a level where it can connect into our older module, the 2 will then be joined and act as one larger waste unit. Once the landfill module has reached its permitted height, we close it by applying a large soil cap, approximately 4 feet to the top of the waste. Then a layer of liner gets placed over that soil cap, and then additional soil is placed on top of that. We then plant vegetation to prevent erosion throughout the seasons as the landfill remains closed. Currently, landfills are a vital component of solid waste management. When you think about incoming waste, when you process it, you're only changing it into something else. Incineration, though a great idea in theory, still leaves you with waste, but in the atmosphere as opposed to something more controllable like solids. So the Western Placer Waste Management Authority has determined that the best way to protect the environment is to keep it in a form that is easily controlled, and that is best done in a landfill. In 2015, the Western Placer Waste Management Authority began the master planning for the next 50 years of landfill development. When we looked at that, we determined that the best place for landfill would be our western property. This western property would allow for approximately 100 years of landfill space that we could do in a safe and protected manner. I just want to reiterate how intensive and detailed the liner design process is. It's really thought about from a 30,000-foot view all the way down to a macro view. It really encompasses all aspects of protecting the environment from the waste that we're disposing. Previously, I've worked in both the private and public sector in the environmental field. Being able to work here has shown me how important the entire process is, from the beginning planning phases all the way to the landfill being closed in 30 years or more. It's really important to have that long-term investment, which I get at the authority.